Hello. It has been over 2 years since I was last able to be in front of a live audience. So it is with a big smile and a warm heart that I say welcome to the 2022 George Selfridge Fellowship Orientation Program, also called the FOP. I am your program host, Chair of the Fellowship Orientation Program, Michael Vidalic. So in 2019, I bought Kenny Chesney tickets for his 2020 concert. And unfortunately, we know what happened over that time. So in 2019, or in 2020, it was postponed. 2021, it was postponed. Besides that, we also didn't have our 100th celebration in Orlando for the USA section in the ICD, and we did not have our meeting in Las Vegas, unfortunately. But we had two awesome virtual reality, or virtual, should say, programs done by the section office. So if you saw Kenny Chesney, if you've seen him, he comes out like a bolt of lightning, and he hasn't been in front of the stage for 2 years. And for the next 8 to 10 songs, he's running back and forth, he's sweating like crazy, and he loves his audience, loves them. So I am not Kenny Chesney. We are not Kenny Chesney, but from the bottom of our hearts, we are glad to see you all here, to look in your eyes, to say hello. And for those in the virtual world, we hope we can pull you in, that you feel that you are here. And because we're here, I'm able to talk to Saprit and Sauson from Texas to say hello earlier. Thanos and Gabby from Boston, I could say hello. And Anita from Tennessee, that I could say hello. Can't do that virtually as well. So without any further ado, we're glad you're here. And just like the introduction 2001 Space Odyssey video, let's your journey begin. Just as Elon Musk and SpaceX is changing the approach to space exploration, you, our 2022 inductee class, are our changeable future. But both changes are built upon knowledge of the past. For SpaceX, it was NASA, the moonwalk, and space shuttle. For us today, it's been our 102 years of being the ICD. Candidates, today we are dropping and shuffling a few letters when we refer to you as cadets. There we go. Why? Because we are sending you on a mission. We are packing you in our oversized USA section space capsule, and we are sending you to the ICD space station. During your journey, your in-flight audio entertainment system will be playing for you a capsule mission tour of the ICD. We trust you, our cadets of tomorrow, will learn new things about the ICD or be refreshed on what you already know. Our Houston ICD Space Mission Ground Control Center leaders, led by our flight director, the USA Section President, Dr. Martin, will be giving you background information on who we are, what we do, and how you could be an integral part of our serving others philosophy. In this way, on your journey to the ICD space station, you'll have the definitive information on our honorary organizational family. The ground control crew will monitor the live camera feed of your mission. You will see that yourselves during the program. So let's get prepared. I now become your spacecraft communicator. Cadets, load up into the shuttle, to the space capsule, sorry. Turn up the cabin volume, settle in, and let your journey begin. The USA section of the International College of Dentists is part of the preeminent honor society for dentists in the world. The USA section is comprised of almost 6,000 fellows, our graduate cadets, so to speak, who exemplify our core values of integrity, leadership, and service. To be admitted to the ICD is a privilege and an honor that very few dentists earn. And if you're like me back in 2011, before the gray set in, when I was a new fellow, you probably are feeling both humbled and proud. Your program booklet, here you could follow along. You could follow along the program booklet for the sequence of your capsule mission tour for the ICD, to follow on the speakers. You're about to be launched into orbit, so buckle up.
2, 1, 0, and liftoff. Liftoff. Americans return to space.
I'd like to begin this evening's program launch by introducing our most important command center speaker, your flight director, Dr. Risa Martin. Dr. Martin is the USA ICD section president from just outside of San Antonio, Texas.
Welcome to Texas, y'all. It is my great honor and my privilege to welcome you, our candidates of 2022, to the George D. Selfridge Fellowship Orientation Program of the International College of Dentists. We wish to also extend a very warm welcome to all of the families, friends, and the guests of this year's candidates. Candidates for fellowship, this is a very special time because you're being recognized for your meritorious contributions to dentistry and to society. It's a time of great pride, fellowship, and celebration of your accomplishments. I look forward to tomorrow when I am able to extend my handshake of fellowship to each one of you during our Richard and Barbara Schaefer convocation ceremony. It is my distinct privilege to welcome all of our ICD officers who are with me here today, right here in the Houston Mission Control Center. So our fellows that are officers, please stand and just be recognized so they can see who you are and maybe pick you out later on. ICD officers, stand. Be recognized. Thank you very much. We have a very special guest in attendance tonight, Dr. Richard Smith. He is the president of the ICD International, what we call the college, who is also from Texas, Amarillo. Following his term as treasurer for the USA section and the college, Dr. Smith assumed the role of president of the college in September of 2021. Dr. Smith, please stand and be recognized. I don't know if we have any of our other international guests here tonight. They're fellows from all around the world, and they have traveled very, very far to get just to this place. So if they are here, please stand and be recognized. You've traveled a long way. They may have jet lag. We'll see them tomorrow. Well, I know that you will take great pride in the rich history, the traditions, the programs, and all the activities of the Global ICD and the USA section. And speaking of our ICD history, the USA section was chartered in 1934. And then in 1939, Justin Towner, he's a dentist, and he was the former USA section president, designed the college key, and that was soon adopted as the ICD symbol. Each one of you will receive that key, your personalized key. And when you do, look on the back of it because your initials are on there. Inside of your welcome packet, you'll find an ICD lapel pin. Wear that ICD lapel pin with pride. At this time, I wish to extend my thanks and appreciation to the Fellowship Orientation Program Committee and their chair, Dr. Vidalik, for all of their work, all of their efforts in arranging this presentation, the reception which follows, and the exhibits that you will see later this evening. Being awarded fellowship in the International College of Dentists is not the end of a journey, but the beginning of your new challenge to continue your involvement with visions in developing leadership roles, service activities, and humanitarian opportunities of all types, including those sponsored by ICD and the USA section. I extend my sincere congratulations and welcome all of you to the ICD family. And now I would like to invite the USA Section's President-elect, Dr. Dan Freed from Indiana, to come up to the podium. He's our Computer Command Center in his role as the Guidance Procedure Officer.
In just about 45 minutes of a new crew to the International Space Station. On board the complex, the crew also
Thank you, Dr. Martin. Fellowship Class of 2022. We're here to celebrate the honor being bestowed on you tomorrow. Congratulations on your section as a fellow to the International College of Dentists. The USA section has three core values: integrity, leadership, and service. Each of you has been invited into fellowship because your colleagues recognize that you have demonstrated a strong personal alignment with these values. The ICD commends your integrity and is proud of your leadership and service in your communities and your profession. The honor of fellowship is the culmination of years of diligence. However, it is also a new beginning. This new beginning is not only for you, but for our organization as well. Tomorrow, you will become a fellow of the most prestigious worldwide honorary dental society. I urge each of you to see this as an opportunity to continue the exemplary dedication on behalf of the college. And future exploratory missions on how the ICD continues to grow will depend on your involvement. Our roots, those that guide the USA section of the ICD today, are found in our applied strategic plan, which guides our mission. That plan has 5 main goals, and I urge you to understand and support them. These goals are designed to facilitate our 3 core values of integrity, leadership, and service. Goal number 1, we value our fellows as our most important resource to achieve our mission, and through our membership, we are as diverse as our profession. This goal speaks to the college's dedication to its fellows and its inclusivity of all dental professionals who exemplify the ICD's high standards. Goal number 2, we cultivate and support leadership development activities. This goal speaks to our core value of leadership. Goal number 3, we are the model of domestic and international dental service and collaboration with the goal of improving oral health globally. This goal speaks to our core value of service. The USA section is so dedicated to this goal that our section motto, which you will hear repeated often today, is serving others. Goal number 4, we develop state-of-the-art internal and external communications to support our projects and activities. As part of achieving this goal, we have recently developed some new social media programs, one of which, Live 45, features interviews with leaders in dentistry speaking about a wide variety of topics And finally, goal 5. We don't have 6. Goal 5. We maintain a secure and sustainable financial position which allows us to reach our strategic objectives. Tomorrow, these applied strategic goals should become your goals. Tomorrow, you will become a member of an exclusive group within our profession representing less than 3% of the practicing dentists in the United States. Tomorrow, you will become part of a much more than just an honorary dental society. I'm sure each one of you has heard the expression, "To those whom much is given, much is expected." Tomorrow, the honor that will be bestowed on you also comes with expectations. Our tomorrow begins with you. As the USA section capsule is racing towards the space station, please join me as we watch a short in-flight video that will give you more insight into our prestigious worldwide honorary dental society.
Integrity, leadership, service, these are the core values of the International College of Dentists. The International College of Dentists is the preeminent honorary dental society, the only one of its kind. The idea of an international dental organization was conceived in 1920 in Tokyo by Dr. Louis Odafe, an American, and Dr. Surikichi Akamura of Japan. The plans were refined and disclosed in 1926 at the 7th Annual Dental Congress in Philadelphia, and on New Year's Eve 1927, the ICD was born. The ICD now has more than 10,000 members worldwide from 122 countries. The USA section is the largest, with more than 6,300 members. The organization recognizes and promotes leadership and service worldwide. The process of becoming a fellow is very selective.
What we expect from that individual that's being nominated is to share our core values.
Each district will nominate distinguished individuals who have demonstrated professionalism and leadership and also participated in humanitarian activities throughout their career.
The ICD searches out those that fit the mold, those that have given service, those that are known to have the integrity.
Each year, the International College of Dentists welcomes new fellows into the organization in a special convocation ceremony.
My local component president nominated me. I think once you're nominated, the application process is really guided by the members who are already involved, and they really encourage you just to help get you through that process.
When I became a fellow, I can remember all the flags of the countries that are participating in the International College of Dentists in this worldwide organization.
When you stand there and you see everybody in their robes and their gowns and family members on the sides, and it's a sight to behold.
That's a memorable experience for people, and it was exciting, and it made you feel a very strong part of this organization, that you were now a part of these special people.
The ICD is involved in many programs that allow members to showcase their commitment to service, such as the International Collaborative Initiative, which includes the popular student exchange program that shares knowledge and experiences among dental students of the global community. Volunteering overseas, programs that provide dental humanitarian support on a global basis. The Fisher House Project, providing emergency palliative care to military families housed at a Fisher House, while their wounded loved ones receive treatment at a medical facility nearby. Peace Corps exams, where ICD fellows provide exams for Peace Corps volunteers free of charge, in appreciation for their commitment to global service. Missions of Mercy, portable clinics in cities across the country, at which volunteers provide free dental care for underserved people. Student awards are given for leadership to a graduating student from every U.S. dental school. And white coat ceremonies, a symbolic event that recognizes the dental students' transition into patient care. Many ICD districts sponsor a white coat ceremony at their respective dental schools.
The USA section established a foundation which would be independent from the section, but basically would assist the section with their projects and also be able to contribute to some of the broader projects from time to time. The section itself contributes significantly to the foundation. It also receives gifts and bequests and things like that that are obviously tax deductible.
The International College of Dentists welcomes the leaders of tomorrow, those who show a career-long commitment to service, humanitarianism, and education.
I think the most special thing about the ICD is the members themselves. They're truly a great group of people who are dedicated in their leadership abilities and their service to others. What they have done for dentistry and humanity is significant.
There are many people in this organization who continue to give of their time, expend their energy, and utilize the leadership skills they've developed elsewhere to serve others through their involvement in the college, both internationally as well as in the United States.
One of the things that has frustrated me in dentistry over the last couple of decades has been an orientation toward money. The ICD typifies the antithesis of that, in which the organization is oriented toward the altruistic things and the service orientation.
So many of us get caught up in trying to build our practice, get the greatest and latest things in our office, and we kind of forget what we really got into dentistry for. And I think at this stage of my life, I don't want to wait till I retire to give back. I want to do it now while my skills are at their highest.
This again is not the end of your career. We want you to continue to provide service and leadership and to mentor, and that's what we're all about.
We're very energized, we're very motivated, and I see great things in our future.
I'm proud.
I'm proud.
I'm proud.
I'm proud.
I'm proud to be a fellow in the International College of Dentistry.
Wasn't that a great video that tells you a lot about what we're about? I hope that you're gaining a greater appreciation of the ICD and the significance of the honor of fellowship in this great organization. As a fellow, you will now have the privilege of nominating other deserving dentists that you know for fellowship. We call this sharing the honor. Class of 2022, thank you. Congratulations on your upcoming induction and continued success along our journey.
Thank you, Dr. Freed. A view from the capsule looks spectacular. We are pushing onward to the ICD space station as the Mission Command Center focuses on the approaching soft docking list. We now have our booster engineer, the ICD Foundation president, Dr. Robert Frazier, who also is hailing from Texas. Dr. Frazier?
So in Texas, we have a salutation that goes, howdy. Can you say howdy with me? Howdy. Good, you guys got to be participants. I want to congratulate all of you for the distinct honor of becoming a fellow, and I also want to thank the families that might be in this audience as well. It's an honor for me to have served this last year as president of the foundation. The foundation was established in 1986. You don't give from empty pockets, and many of the things you saw in the I'm Proud video were because they were funded by the foundation. We're dedicated to the following of our mission, and our mission reads, if I may read it to you, provide financial support and worthy ICD fellows, service projects, other entities, corporations, trusts, philanthropies, funds, and foundations that reflect the ICD mission and vision. Additionally, the foundation supports many of the educational and literary, as well as scientific and charitable activities of the USA section. In keeping with the ICD motto of serving others, the foundation provides humanitarian assistance throughout the United States and the world. You may have seen the I'm Proud video, we just saw it, and it covers many of the things, so I'm going to highlight a few of those as we talk. One of the places that we have impacted outside the U.S. is Kenya. There are two major hospitals there, dental hospitals. One, and I may not pronounce these quite right, but we Texans pronounce things strangely anyway, Shagora and Kakia hospitals in Kenya. We also support Smiles on Wings, Dental Lifeline, the Open Wide Foundation, Mending Faces, Everyone for Veterans, the Haitian Health Foundation, and many more. In addition to our general grant program, we've had a collaborative effort with Henry Schein. Most of you have been watching the news, and if you've watched it like me, I am horrified by what's going on in Ukraine. Well, together, as you'll see behind me here, we were able to raise just over $70,000 to buy personal hygiene kits for over 7,000 people in Ukraine. And they told me that when they gave those out, that not only were they touched by our charity, but they were appreciative of what was in it, but many of them were so destitute, they said the package that it's in they can use as well. So it's that kind of work that this foundation is dedicated to. Also to improve the oral health and the status of dentistry and the dental profession throughout the USA and the world. So again, if you become a fellow, you're just going to get a chance to start your work. Several years we've been promoting volunteerism, presenting volunteer seminars and symposiums. I don't know, how many of you have seen the symposium at one of the major dental clinics on how to be a part of a mission trip or to lead a mission trip? Anybody out there seen it? Well, if you haven't, please do. Many of the major meetings have them, and if you're wondering about how to do that, see those volunteer symposiums or simply ask any of us during the reception or tomorrow how to do that. If you're particularly interested in mission work. The other thing we like to do is support the next generation. So we support students throughout our foundation efforts. Most successful programs, the Betty R. McCaig Student Experience Program, which provides for third and fourth year dental students to go abroad and to do humanitarian mission works and exchange programs abroad. These trips they heighten the students' knowledge and their awareness of third world countries and people who are far less fortunate than we. In the past 3 years, the foundation has awarded some $2,500 in ICD, Washington University Dental Alumni Association scholarships to qualified students who apply through the Worldwide College website. We also sponsor a Senior Dental Student Awards, which recognizes leadership and humanitarianism at every dental school in the United States. In total, the USA Section Foundation awards between $130,000 and $150,000 per year, and that comes from your contributions primarily. Many of the grants go to service projects that ICD fellows are leading. We're able to provide that financial support because of the generosity of the fellows in the organization. And also corporate partners like Henry Schein has been an excellent partner of ours. We ask our fellows to contribute and to the foundation, if they will. During this COVID pandemic, many things affected the whole society. They certainly affected dentistry, and we had over a period from 2019 to 2021 a 57% drop in fellow contributions. And some of that was certainly understandable, but we want to change that. And in order to do that, we've created a matching leadership pledge. If you watch NPR, you listen to NPR, you don't watch it, you listen to it, you notice they often have matching funds. We've raised over $36,000. You're going to be getting information about this after you get back home. And that money is meant for two things. One, for service projects led by our fellows. Those of you that are new here, we hope you're part of that, and we hope you can contribute toward that. Every dollar you give, as is noted over here, becomes $2. So we're hoping we can spend all $36,000 that we have pledged. There's also opportunities in the Century Club. The Century Club is an opportunity to pledge a small amount each month toward a larger amount over a 5-year period. The Legacy Society, where you could assign part of your estate to the foundation, we would be most appreciative of that recognition. Additionally, we encourage you to visit the Key Room. The Key Room has got all kinds of ICD shirts and memorabilia that you could have, and 30% of anything you buy there is tax deductible. So we hope you'll visit the Key Room and look at the various things. Get one of these ties so that you can be really spiffy at these meetings. With your support, the ICD Command Center, funding that leadership matching, we can expand our capabilities. We can even influence the future flight plans of the organization. Thank you for your support, your anticipated support, and the opportunity to tell you about your foundation and your opportunity to help with it. At each annual session, we also recognize a local community health care or dental provider who has chosen this time to receive a grant of $1,500 in support of their efforts to provide dental care to needy families and those that have less access to care. In order to do this, we've got a presentation for our Houston Local Humanitarian Service Award, and our 2021 President, Dr. Jerry Carr, is going to make that presentation. Jerry?
All right, greetings to all of you. I sat where you're sitting 26 years ago, and I hope your experience with the ICD will be as wonderful as mine. Greetings to our fellows-elect, your family members, guests, and any visiting dignitaries. It is my pleasure and honor now to introduce the 2022 recipient of the Local Humanitarian Service Award. This year's award goes to the San Jose Clinic of Houston. The San Jose Clinic was founded over 100 years ago to address the high infant mortality rate among immigrant families in the Houston area. It was named after St. Joseph, who is the patron saint of expectant mothers, immigrants, and laborers. From its humblest beginnings, the SJC has grown to be a major comprehensive charity clinic serving the greater Houston area. If you'll look with me now, we'll read the mission statement. It should be up here now. It's to provide healing through quality health care and education with respect and compassion for those with limited access to care. I think you would all agree that that's a wonderful mission. Today, the San Jose Clinic offers a large array of health services to their patients who are primarily from Houston's working families who are not insured and do not qualify for Medicaid or Medicare benefits. These services include primary health care, many specialty health care services, behavioral health care, physical therapy, Class A pharmacy services, and comprehensive dental and oral health care. Last year, during the pandemic, through the generosity of their donors, volunteer dental health service providers, and academic affiliates, the SJC provided over 4,400 dental visits for its patients. These visits represent millions of dollars in dental treatment for those needy patients who would not have otherwise been able to afford that care. Looking to the future, the San Jose Clinic is planning also to expand these charity dental services to the rural areas of adjacent Fort Bend County. We believe, that being the USA section in the ICD Foundation, that the San Jose Dental Clinic is a stellar example of the USA section's motto, serving others. Therefore, it is my honor, along with Dr. Frazier, on behalf of the ICD Foundation and the USA section, to present this check for $2,500 to the dental practice manager of SJC, Amy Manrique. Say it for me, Amy. Manrique. All right, I can't speak. Manrique. All right, thank you, Amy, for being here. Amy, we commend you for the work that the San Jose Clinic is doing, and may your services to the needy continue for the next 100 years. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Frazier and Dr. Carr. Let's have another round of applause for the San Jose Clinic. Which just last week celebrated their 100th anniversary serving the Houston community. As everyone can see, the USA Section Foundation is active and very busy. And in case one is wondering, the foundation is rated 100 out of 100 by the world's largest and most trusted nonprofit evaluator, Charity Navigator. We are now honored to welcome the ADA's 2021 Humanitarian Award recipient, Dr. Teresa Chang. She is our guest speaker tonight. Over the years, many of our esteemed guest speakers, including Dr. Chang, have been recognized by the ADA for their humanitarian award, via the Humanitarian Award. Dr. Chang received this honor in 2021 for her humanitarian efforts as the founder and president of Everyone for Veterans. Dr. Chang?
Thank you very much, Dr. Badelic. And okay, it's up. Thank you so much to the International College of Dentists USA for inviting me here to speak. It is such an honor to speak in front of this great group of leaders and engines of service. So I'm very honored about that. Congratulations to the cadets of the candidates of the fellows, but I have to learn how to say cadets now. That, yeah, to be conferred tomorrow. I'm very excited for you. Before I begin, I would like to see a show of hands of veterans or anyone serving in the military in the audience. Yay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this duty for the country. How I sometimes think about how does one show our appreciation for our veterans? To me, I finally found an answer in 2008 where I felt that, oh, I can provide free dental service to veterans. And so that was, felt really good to me to be able to do that. So in the next 10 minutes or so, I'd like to show you that veterans are a very worthy, underserved population to connect with and to give back to. This connection not only improves oral health, but also overall health, and it saves lives. In 2017, we became a 501c nonprofit, and this is a short introduction video about Everyone for Veterans. My mother always says, you do not keep track of the things you do for others. However, you always remember those who do things for your benefit. Our soldiers fulfill a tremendous task for everyone in this country, and I feel very indebted to them. My name is Teresa Chang. I'm a periodontist in Issaquah, which is right outside of Seattle. I founded Everyone for Veterans to help provide services to veterans who return from combat. We are a very lean and mean organization. Right now, our headquarters is a messy office in my house, but we've produced a lot of good for our veterans.
My name is DeMarcus Wickfall. I'm from San Diego, California, but I live now in Seattle, Washington, where I've been for 4 years. And I was in the Navy for 10 years of my life, which were very impressionable years, but it made me a better person altogether. Part of my military experience has taught me to kind of be proud of your country and protect the things that you believe in, support and defend. And I would like to be that for my son. What I do now is try to build a legacy for him, and so he could either follow in my footsteps or, you know, make his own path and just take from what I've learned and grow from that and make it better than what I did. That's our hope for our children, or at least for mine.
With the timing of the Iraq War, my boys were teenagers then, and so they could have been drafted, they could have signed up to go to war, and they didn't. And so when you hear about the young veterans returning with grave injury, it really connected with me that this could be my voice. We all can do different things to walk with our veterans. I feel very fortunate to have this meaningful opportunity to give back to veterans who return from combat areas.
Everyone for Veterans has changed my life, and it actually helped me in places that I thought I was going to have difficulty. In the next year or so, I'll be opening my own barber salon here in Ballard. So for anyone that's looking to help out a veteran, every little thing helps, and it matters, and it makes a difference.
Our vision for Everyone for Veterans is that our veterans who return from combat can feel supported, welcomed, and integrated in the community that they return to. Our volunteers are the lifeblood of the organization. I always get so motivated and encouraged when volunteers partner with us and believe in what we do, and definitely encourages us to do more.
This really turns a spotlight on the good that the community wants to do for veterans, and so I really am touched. People out there really do want to help veterans.
I invite everyone to join us so that we can do, more for our veterans and make this a much better world. So, our veterans served our country. I can serve those who have served. And we have two programs, a dental program, which obviously I will go into more, and a wingman program. So a wingman program is where members of the community who are not dentists and we want to do something for veterans, they can do things like get a mattress for a veteran, food and clothing, etc. And these all help reduce the stress. And we know that stress has a positive relationship with periodontal disease. Can't help it, be a periodontist. And so that works hand in hand to really be able to accomplish good oral health and overall health. So contrary to what most people think, our veterans do not get dental benefits. And this is not by any means a criticism of the VA. They do a lot. It's actually mandated by Congress. So the veteran has to have 100% service-connected disability or prisoner of war or some other special situation. And that only comprised to about 8% of veterans. So, so most do not have dental benefits. So all the veterans, we help veterans who have deployed to combat areas. And so they represent less than 1% of the population. And so oftentimes they feel alienated, they feel uncomfortable and have difficulty adjusting in the community at their home. So when many dentists volunteer in an area, we actually do expand to non-combat veterans. So a shout out to Lubbock, Texas, who is the first city who had so many dentists volunteer, so we're open to, non-combat candidates too. And the other criteria is they have to be low income. So apart from many who are unemployed, there are a lot who are working low-paying jobs. They can only work part-time because of lots of injuries. And so they have no dental insurance and never able to accomplish dental health. They've always just kind of put out fires in their dental treatment. And their dental conditions are not any better than what I've seen when I volunteer overseas. Some veterans do try to do the right thing, get some dental insurance through the VA, but they can't afford the co-pays, and so they cannot complete their treatment. Some cannot afford a gas to go to a free clinic or take time off to go to a free clinic. So, however, a volunteer dentist in their community bridges all of those gaps, and they are able to get dental health. So I forgot to advance the slides here. So now you know. So we help qualified veterans wherever they are. And currently we have helped veterans in 34 states. And the U.S. is a big country, and so we need a lot more dentists to help out because the veterans may not always be at the concentration of where our volunteer dentists are at. So our volunteer dentists welcome a veteran in their office just one a year, and they work in the comfort of their office. They don't have to take time off and go somewhere. So it's a different model. Their treatment goals are to eliminate infection and inflammation and establish adequate function, establish adequate aesthetics. And then now they're nice and healthy, their subsequent treatment, which should not be as much, then they are paying patients. So besides getting a nice smile and increasing a confidence with the dental work that they've got, I want to highlight two powerful impacts that this volunteerism provides to our veterans. The first is the relationship. Because they are our veterans and they have multiple appointments because of the comprehensive care plan in your office. So they really develop a strong relationship with the dentists and their staff who are in their community. So many veterans report that they felt welcome back for the first time since their return. And this connection also strengthens their commitment for good oral hygiene and maintenance. And so this sustainability, we notice, is also generational because the veterans tell us that they impress on their kids and the family to practice good oral hygiene. And so, hoping to break the cycle of, poor dental health in their family. And to plan on paying for future treatments, we also educate them and counsel them to supplement their treatment from their dental home with, utilizing some of the free clinics, get on Medicaid, and also sometimes they could get some insurance, which helps with just the maintenance. We have so far collaborated with 3 dental schools, so we hope to have these new dentists-to-be experience, working with veterans and giving back. For these veteran community, we are not just restoring dental health. We do touch their souls, and in return, they touch ours. So we have lost more than 4 times veterans to suicide than all the soldiers we've lost in the Iraq and Afghan war combined. So in other words, the most dangerous part of their journey is when they return home. I say the time to help veterans is now. The time to give back to veterans is now. And we can do it now. Veterans Day is around the corner, and this is a good time to remember them and sign up. I just need your name and email address, and we have a table out there where you can fill that in. That would be really appreciated. Thank you so much for your attention, and go Mariners.
She clearly represents our serving others motto, and she's a perfect example of what we hope the next generation of cadets turn into. So on behalf of the ICD USA section, we have a little desk paperweight for you, and thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much.
As we all have been aware, the pandemic sidetracked many of our activities. Today, we get the opportunity to spotlight the USA Section's 2020 and 2021 Distinguished USA Section Humanitarian Awardees. The Command Center, with our Flight Director, Dr. Martin, giving us 2 thumbs up, will go in brief hibernation mode. They're still up there, they're just taking a little break. As I would like to invite Dr. James Setterberg, the 2020 ICD USA Section President, to come up to the podium to present the 2 awards.
Thank you, Michael. Wow, the lights are bright. It's been a while since I've been at this podium. And congratulations to all of you. It's going to be a great day tomorrow, and welcome to the FOP. We actually have 2 outstanding awardees. Well, actually, there's going to be 3. Dr. T. Bob Davis, a longtime friend, for 2020, which I would have given during my presidential year, and Dr. Charles Simons and his wife Alice for 2020-21. I'm going to start out with Dr. Davis. Dr. T. Bob Davis from Dallas, Texas, the recipient of the Distinguished Humanitarian Award for 2020. A native of Troy, Alabama, Dr. T. Bob Davis graduated from Samford University with a chemistry degree and received his Doctor of Dental Medicine degree from the University of Alabama School of Dentistry. Following 2 years of service as captain of the United States Air Force Dental Corps, Dr. Davis has been practicing general dentistry for 52 years in Dallas. For many years, T. Bob has volunteered service to his church as a deacon, a youth worker, and as pianist, and has shared his dental expertise at children's homes, schools, and others in his Texas community. For 45-plus years, a passion of T. Bob's has been his commitment to dental missions. He has taken over 1,500 dental students, 500 dentists, 500 hygienists and assistants, and staff members to one of his dental missions to Mexico, Nicaragua, Guatemala, and in 2018 to India. In addition to seeing over 300 dental patients, T. Bob arranged for a grand piano, similar to the one to our left, my left, to airlift it from Houston to New Delhi, India, as a gift to a local church in Ukurl, Manipur. He played 2 concerts in honor of the gift. Most recently, T. Bob conceived of and designed a 21-operatory dental clinic in the local hospital compound in San Raimundo, Guatemala. It was funded and completed in March 2020, just as the COVID-19 shutdown began. For several years, he has shared his expertise by facilitating seminars on volunteerism at major dental conferences throughout the United States, sharing his knowledge and skills and talent while mentoring is a major part of his lifestyle. Dr. Davis is honored with fellowship in the International College of Dentists, and his professional list is extensive, including membership in the balance of the honorary dental academies and a past president of the Academy of Dentistry International. T. Bob has a piano style that is ear-popping, and he has been, for years, the pianist for the International College of Dentists convocation, where you get to enjoy his talents tomorrow. He even has his keyboard socks on today. Notice as we're sitting next door to one another. T. Bob and his wife Janice were married in 1969, and they have 3 children and 7 grandchildren, all who live within 30 minutes of each other. This mini biography barely touches the story of T. Bob Davis. For more depth biography of his career, please log on to our website and see the 2021 Key magazine. Okay. T. Bob, say a few words for us.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Setterberg. I tell you what, everybody's so gracious. I just appreciate it. And they laugh at me rather than with me, I think. Recognition such as this award simply adds fuel to the flame of the fire that we're we're creating when we go on these mission trips, because it encourages us not to quit, not to give up, not to grow weary in well-doing. It stimulates the troops out there in the field. It's a visible recruitment tool for others to join in with our efforts. It literally displays the possible from what others may fear is impossible. My friend Zig Ziglar stated what FEAR, fear, four-letter word, FEAR stands for. False expectations appearing real. So many people are trapped with fear, afraid to do what God calls them to do, or what they're called to do, or what they think they should do. And I really believe that we overcome that with these mission trips. I'm getting off the subject here, but these mission trips, today, just walking through the exhibit hall, I've bumped into so many of the younger dentists that have been with me, giving me big hugs and thanking me for what it meant. On the podcast a little while, standing there a little while ago, and one of the presenters on the podcast alluded to the 2019 trip that she went on, and it changed her life. Everywhere I go, I realize that God puts us here to do what we do, whether we think we can or not. And then he re-encourages us by telling us, by these people coming up and thanking us for what we did. It was not what we did, it's what the Lord wanted to do with them, and we just sort of helped point it out. There's nothing like the joy of going on these mission trips and seeing these students change. It changes their lives. They'll come back a different person. Some of their values suddenly become real values. I'm off what I was going to say, but I just, my heart says that you want to know that these mission trips, over 1,500 dental students and over 500 dentists gone with me, you come back just full of joy for what the profession is going to hold, because you know that they're going to come back and they're going to share, and it's going to mean a lot to a lot of other people. I have a plaque that's right on a shelf above my office desk. It says, "Those who say it can't be done should get out of the way of those doing it." That's what I say about all of y'all. I say that because all of you represent that. In my life, I found the more I said yes to opportunity, the more opportunities I got, and the more successes. And like my friend that was on the podcast said, he said, "I've made a lot of mistakes and had a lot of failures. But you know, you have so many successes, there may be a lot of failures, but you have so many successes, it warms you in the cold of night, in the winter time of life, or when you're thinking about what you might do." ICD leadership and staff, in my opinion, are the gold standard for pristine organization and performance. You've seen it. You've evidenced. You feel it when you see them up here when they get up to speak. You new fellows are blessed to be honored by ICD, but you also bring great honor to ICD and to dentistry with your treasure trove of service that qualified you to become a new ICD fellow, the very reason why you're here tonight. So I want to say congratulations to all of you new fellows. It's a wonderful organization you're getting into. I got chills running up my back right now thinking about all these leaders, literally all these leaders that I know, and all these people that are so outstanding in dentistry that you've already met tonight and you're going to see more of, because they make a difference. They've made a difference. One person, you, are going to continue to make that difference. And thank you, all you ICD leaders and staff, for being the best of the best. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, T-Bob. You're truly an inspiration, and you don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk. And for all of you out there, if that inspires you, there's many opportunities. Our next recipients of 2021 Distinguished Humanitarian Award are Dr. Charles and Miss Alice Simons from Kokomo, Indiana. Chuck and Alice Simons have been jointly recognized to receive the 2021 Distinguished Humanitarian Award. These two individuals have been a major part of the USA ICD family for many years. While Chuck has had the actual leadership role, Alice has always been there providing guidance and counsel. They nurtured and encouraged newer ICD leaders in their roles. Together, they provided substantial funding for a variety of entities to support humanitarian efforts, as well as to promote education and the arts. Annually provide approximately $100,000 to continue their philanthropic commitments. They made a major commitment to the ICD with a 10-year pledge for the USA Section's Fellowship Orientation Program, which you're enjoying this afternoon, the ICD European Section, and the ICD Global Visionary Fund. They are major donors to Rotary International, IU Dental School, ICD, Kokomo YMCA, Newton Howard County's Community Foundations, and the Great American Songbook Initiative. Chuck has been an ICD Fellow for 41 years. His ICD mantra has been leadership, which he introduced in 2001, and he was the ICD USA Section President in 2002. Chuck served on the ICD International Council for 9 years, from 2005 to 2014. The council named him Ambassador at Large to the Global Visionary Fund, a 501c3 foundation. The ICD European Section awarded him honorary member status in 2011. Through the rigors of building a successful orthodontic practice, Chuck has always found time to help in his community. He served on the development drive of the Kokomo Rescue Mission and United Way of the Budget Committee. Chuck met his lovely wife and devoted wife, Alice, through a friend in dental school. She's also committed to the service of mankind. Alice has been president of the PEO, PTO, Symposium, Delphinium, Cheer Guild, and auxiliary to the Indiana Dental Association. Alice has her master's degree in special education and has taught in the Kokomo elementary schools. Chuck and Alice were married in 1968 and have 2 children, Chad and Heather. Both are married with children for a total of 6 grandchildren. As with Dr. Davis, the depth of Dr. Simon's impart on humanities goes way beyond this small biography. The 2022 Key Magazine has more details describing his impact with the ICD and his hometown, which can be found on our website. Congratulations. I'd invite you to say a few words if you'd like.
Thank you, Dr. Satterberg. Alice and I are so very pleased and proud to be accepting this award, yet it is with a great deal of humility that we accept the recognition. As it has been said so many times, there are so many who do so much, and we have been inspired by our mentors, and we hope that you will be inspired also. We thank the International College of Dentists, USA Section, and its Board of Regents, and especially our mentor and nominator, Dr. Ted Roberson. The college means a great deal to Alice and myself. We remember our 1981 trip from Indiana to San Francisco for me to become a member. Our 2 little kids dressed in their finest, and my parents driving on their own from Indiana to San Francisco were all there with us. It was a great time for our family, and it has been ever since. My father had played golf with the Secretary General at that time, Franklin Kennard. His wife, Marcia Hoover Kennard, and her family had been dear family members before she married Dr. Kennard and moved to Miami. He would come to our little community, and my father would entertain him and hear all about his wonderful International College of Dentists. Well, with my invitation into the college, Dad began to pay a little closer attention. He was a farmer, not a dentist, and he saw firsthand what an honor an invitation to our college really was. So I know how proud you candidates here today and you cadets really are, and you deserve to be so, because you are truly the lifeblood of our organization and of our preeminent World Dental Honorary. So again, thank you to the college, the USA section, and its Board of Regents for this distinction. We will display it with pride in hopes of inspiring others to participate in giving back and then realize a fulfillment in life that is hard to describe. So cadets, congratulations, and thank you.
Thanks to both of you for not only your prior support and commitment to the International College of Dentists, but your community, the arts and humanities, and your church and the Rotary. Thanks again, and congratulations to both our distinguished humanitarian recipients.
12 physical hooks will connect the Dragon to the space station.
Great views. Dragon just 6 meters away. The station and Dragon fly in tandem 263 statute miles over the South Indian Ocean in the background.
Thank you, Dr. Sederberg. Congratulations, Dr. Davis, who plays a mean piano, as you will find out tomorrow, socks and all. And as chair of the FOP for a number of years now, on behalf of my active committee in the USA section, I'd like to thank Dr. Simons and his wife Alice for generous support over the last 10 years for the FOP, and including the virtual FOP during the pandemic. As we inch closer to the soft docking with the space station, can you feel it? It's exciting. Mission Control Center kicks back into gear with our grounds control officer, the USA section vice president, Dr. Ira Tatunik, ready to take charge. Dr. Tatunik is from New York.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again, new fellows to be. We hope you have enjoyed our guest speaker, Dr. Cheng, as well as the I Am Proud video you saw earlier. They both helped spotlight and show the flight pattern of today's International College of Dentists and its member fellows. As you can see, the ICD is more than an honorary dental society. It is a dynamic and active organization. You, our fellows of tomorrow, will play key roles in charting our future programs, and our future will be in your hands. When Dr. Risa Martin extends the ICD Hand of Fellowship to you tomorrow, you will become a fellow in our family. As we all know, in order to remain a united family, to be grounded in our roots, there are certain expectations placed upon its members, which cultivate the 5 applied strategic plan objectives you heard earlier from Dr. Freed. We have 5 expectations for its fellows. Today, I charge you with upholding these 5 objectives. Leadership. I charge you to continue your commitment to leadership and to uphold the highest standards of professional competence and personal ethics. Share the honor. I charge you to recognize other distinguished members of our profession, your community, by inviting them into fellowship and give them the opportunity to share this honor with you. Humanitarianism. think about the foundation grants and the local Houston community program recognized here today, or the Peace Corps and the Veterans programs in which many of you will participate. As a point of reference, you can get more information on the Peace Corps and Veterans projects today during the reception. As a point of reference, you can get more information on the Peace Corps and Veteran projects today during the reception. And pardon me, be passionate in your support of humanitarian projects, both in the USA and abroad. The ICD USA section has several short and long-term projects, and we will welcome your participation in them. Education. I charge you to contribute to the advancement of the dental profession by fostering the growth and the promotion of dental knowledge worldwide. Professional conduct. I charge you with advancing the best and the highest standards of our profession, both morally and ethically, and setting an example of these standards in your own communities. Just to recap these expectations: leadership, share the honor, humanitarianism, education, professional conduct. In supporting these expectations, you will join in fellowship while honoring our core values as stitched on our mission patch of integrity, leadership, and service. And I thank you.
We're running out of fuel a little bit, so we're going to speed up a little bit here. Thank you, Dr. Tadunic. Cadets, as you begin your fellowship into the International College of Dentists, remember to get involved, stay involved, and share the honor with other deserving professionals as yourself. Your fellowship will mean more when you share your enthusiasm with others. The ICD space station, which is our capsule destination on this flight, is international in scope, and we need new visionaries to control the course of our future exploration. And guess who that is? You guys. Fellow inductees, the USA section website is available 24/7. Check out the quick QR link on the back of your program. It's somewhere. You're on your program. It's home to everything you may want to know about the ICD USA section. We hope you find the site user-friendly. We are grateful for our industrious section staff as they keep our website current and fresh. For streamlined access to the information, we even have our own ICD USA section app. For both the USA section and the college at large, we are on social media sites as well. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I want to see someone do an Instagram reel today, so someone do that. Check us out using the QR codes. You'll see them on some posters in the back there. Tag us, like us, follow us. When you do post here in Houston, follow the hashtag right down below there. Follow that hashtag, post it. To keep our social media message strong, please send the section office your photos to share of ICD activities and fellows in your local chapter or district. Remember, we are you, you are us, you are our tomorrow. The section has ever increased its communication platforms. We hope you will take advantage of these resources while supporting the ways we get our message out. You heard earlier about the Live 45, and I keep raising up the Key magazine with both 2021 having Dr. Davis's bio in there, and the 2022 having Dr. Simons and his wife Alice. But this is old school. The smell, the texture, I mean, I love it. I love it. But we also have a PDF version. And this is a great communication tool about who we are and what we do. Is Dr. Roadcamp? Where's Dr. Roadcamp? Our editor. Right back there. Way in the back corner there, Dr. Roadcamp. Please give him a round of applause. Tremendous work. At the conclusion of the 2022 FOP program, after our flight activities officer, Dr. Palmer, finishes presenting the information for the convocation tomorrow, our entire Mission Control Center crew and everybody will move to the FOP reception behind you. We will meet in the Imperial Room next door and honor you with wine, beer, and soda in hand and a large sampling of camaraderie. At the reception, look for the number-shaped balloons. You'll see them on the table, the number-shaped balloons, where you will find your district regent there, okay? And that's where you will congregate. There will also be project displays for you to visit and find out more information on such adventures as the Peace Corps that Dr. Tutunik just mentioned. Once you're back home in about 30 days, you'll be asked to take a very short email survey, which will include the ability to get feedback on the FOP program. Please take a moment to complete that survey so we can continually to improve this program and understand our next generation of cadets. As new fellows, in February of next year, you will receive your first due statement, and as we have seen, cadets, these funds drive our missions and support our future endeavors, including the donations to the foundation.
Still a few steps to complete before Dragon is securely attached.
Dragon SpaceX on the
Our final control center personnel will be our flight activities officer, Dr. Matt Palmer, chairman of the convocation committee. He will bring us to a full docking connection with the space station. He will highlight key details about the induction and convocation tomorrow. So please pay close attention to what the information he's about to give you.
Thank you. Well, howdy and good afternoon. I am your flight activities officer, Captain Matt Palmer, and this is the last Captain Matt Palmer before he got to put on the really comfortable flight clothes. So, you know, I want to add my congratulations to the fellows-elect, my congratulations to the candidates, my congratulations to the cadets. Is that all the terms we have for them? Okay, so we got that. And honestly, this is a significant career milestone for you, a major accomplishment that you and those who have supported you are going to be eminently proud of. Before we get too far into this, we do have a special guest, a Navy captain, Dr. Halquist. And Dr. Halquist, I told you that I was going to embarrass you, so if you would stand up, I'd appreciate it very much. So she is our representative. Today is the 247th anniversary of the United States Navy, so go Navy. You know, I love this great space theme, and this is the brainchild, and special thanks to the ever-energetic, enthusiastic, and imaginative Dr. Michael Bidalek. Thank you. You know, if we were actually in space, we would be weightless, and we'd be floating. But alas, we are not, and gravity is likely taking its toll on you as you sit there. So feel free to shift around a little bit, shake some of that gravity off, and let's take a few minutes to go over the key details about tomorrow's convocation ceremony. Undoubtedly, this will make it much easier for you and your families. Robe pickup will be tomorrow morning between 8 and 11 a.m. 8 and 11 tomorrow morning in the Magnolia Ballroom, or easier to remember, 2 doors down. So same floor, 2 doors down, Magnolia Ballroom, between 8 and 11. The earlier you get there, the better. The earlier you get there, the better. Then at noon tomorrow, we will go back to the FOP room, well, the room right behind the air wall here. We're going to for the FOP, and that will be where we get organized and coordinated. Michael actually made them change the name of their ballrooms here, so it's now called the Imperial Battle Cruiser Room, you know, with the space theme. So you'll come back there at 12 o'clock dressed in your robe. When you enter the room, you'll look again for your district number and get there with your regent. Regent will check you in. You'll see that the room tomorrow, it is not that big, so please, only our fellow elects, candidates, and cadets enter that room. Your loved ones, please stay outside. Once you get checked in, your regent can let you go back out for photographs and all of those sorts of things. However, we do need you back in the room at 12:35. All right? 8 to 11, pick up your robes. 12 o'clock, check in with your regent. 12:35, back in the room to get lined up for the convocation processional. Exact positions and placements are obviously critical. We have 200 in-person people. We have 120 virtual, and that's a lot of plaques with names on it. So we need you in place in your position. Please listen to your regent, and it'll go smooth as anything. At the conclusion of the convocation, you will go back to the Magnolia Room, also known as 2 doors down, and drop off your robe. In there will also be boxes that you can put your plaque in. All right, 200 people, 200 plaques. You have a 1 in 200 chance of grabbing your name. Don't worry about it, just grab any box. They're all the same, only the name is different, all right? If you have not yet picked up your new fellow packet lapel pin, please do so this evening from the registration desk located just outside in the lobby. You've seen me down there earlier with a different garb on, and our wonderful Convocation Committee volunteers that are doing that. So stop on down there. Also in the packet will be a gold envelope with your dinner tickets for tomorrow's fiesta. Some quick information for the family and friends of our honor class of 2022. This ballroom will be open at noon tomorrow for general seating. So noon tomorrow, general seating, this is where we have the convocation. Our former ICD presidents are our ushers, and they will assist you. Be aware of how and where your fellow elects are seated by districts in the convocation room. So to my left or your right as you face the stage, that will be districts 1 through 10. To my right or your left as you face the stage, that will be where districts 11 and 17 are seated. So that area will be roped off. If you want to sit near them, sit on that side. If you want to sit far away from them, that's something different. We will have a professional photographer, and they will be available after the convocation for photos of groups, families, and individuals. During the actual convocation, photographers will be taking photographs of each individual fellow-elect candidate cadet as they cross the stage and shake Dr. Martin's hand. Family members, you're welcome to come up and take pictures as well. Each district will then gather off to the side, and another professional photographer will take district group pictures. And you're welcome to go over there and take pictures as well, okay? So that's that. The professional photos will be available for purchase within 2 weeks directly from the photographer. Their information will be posted on our website, and you'll receive an email with viewing and ordering information. Short pause, dramatic effect. Tomorrow is a very special day. Our ICD convocation ceremony is designed to be an impressive and memorable event, and it is a way for us to show you how much we appreciate each one of you for what you have done, what you have accomplished, and what you have yet to do. As you look back on this day, the honor of being inducted as a fellow in the International College of Dentists will be an experience that will always make you feel both proud and humble. So, last thing standing between us and Dr. and Mrs. Simon's reception is our host.
Between the Dragon of the docking port and the second, slowly backing the spacecraft away.
Okay, you can see the capsule has docked. You cadets have quickly and efficiently ran a few tests on the space station, but now we have to bring you back home. As you buckle in for your ride home, please take a moment to look at your name badge with your district number under your name. Again, look for that number on the table balloons in the Imperial Room, and your region will be waiting for you. If you're not sure who your region is, there's a QR code on the back of the FOP program that you could scan and look up who your region is. Well, there you have it. The USA section space capsule is now disengaging the space station, and we're bringing you back home, back to Houston. We hope you found our Houston NASA-based theme, Capsule Mission Tour of the ICD, informative and engaging. Remember, cadets, you are our next generation. Be inspired with our motto, serving others. As you can see from the live feed, there you are. The capsule has begun to re-enter the atmosphere. The Houston Command Center is ready to welcome you home. So let's get out of our space capsule, out of your suits, collectively all get together at the east side of the Imperial Room next door for the 2022